Muhoozi Kainerugaba ordered the arrest of 20 army officers. I'm going to go on and read you this, see what it says. Muhoozi arrests 20 army officers, and some of them is Major General James Birungi, Colonel Godfrey Tukamwachira, Colonel Patrick Semakula, Colonel Patrick Ahimbisibwe, Lieutenant Colonel Ephraim Byarhanga, Brigadier General Silas Bekunda, Brigadier Johnson Nahamia, and Major General John Nabaasa. Sorry, Don, not John. So, there's this official narrative that is being told to the Ugandans, and they know for sure nobody believes what they say. I mean, when did we decide to believe Museveni's narrative? These are the folks who told us they didn't know about the whereabouts of Bob Bunjaji and Nicholas Oyo, the two Kenyan activists who had been abducted in Uganda. The Uganda police force said, no, we don't know where they are. We've checked all our torture facilities or torture dungeons. We've checked all our detentions. We don't have them. The UPDF actually released this an official statement saying, us, UPDF, we don't have them. We don't know where they are. Only for Museveni to come out and say, hey, we've been keeping them in the fridge. Some dog whistles for really Machiavellian mindset folks to mean, hey, we've been torturing them. So nobody believes this. That's what we're going to be looking at, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to Mordecai Murisa Live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome you and say happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful time and I hope you have a wonderful week. Now, I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. Please like this video. Invite other folks to join us. Write down in the comment section what you think and share it with people out there. Let's go on and read a few lines here, ladies and gentlemen, of what they're saying. They say, at least 20 senior officers of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, have been arrested in a sweeping anti-corruption purge in the past 2 years since General Muhoozi Kainerugaba took over the army top leadership as Chief of Defense Forces. First of all, that is even laughable. Muhoozi doesn't have any interest in arresting corrupt folks. I mean, he's an endorser of Anita Among, who was sanctioned by the US and partners, including some Arab countries. So, he's doing this purge. No, nobody believes that. Okay, let's go on and read what they say. More of the lies. General Kainerugaba marked 2 years in office last week, and this period has been defined by a strategic transformation, enhanced operational readiness, and strengthened civil-military relations. The arrested officers are being held at Machinde Military Barracks and Kasenyi Barracks in Entebbe, following orders from the CDF. Last Thursday, General Kainerugaba ordered the arrest of Major General Don William Nabaasa and Brigadier Johnson Nahamia Abaho over the alleged corruption-related offenses. The message ordering the arrest was reportedly addressed to and implemented by the Chief Inspector of Armed Forces, who doubles as Deputy CDF, Lieutenant General Sam Okiding. Another prominent arrest made was that of former Chief of Military Intelligence, Major General James Birungi, amid allegations of treason, corruption, and mishandling of intelligence operations. His arrest sent shockwaves through Uganda, raising questions about accountability within the country's military intelligence sector. According to the reports, the arrest followed findings from high-level board of inquiry chaired by Lieutenant General Okiding. The inquiry revealed significant lapses in the UPDF Intelligence Directorate, including falsified reports, misuse of resources, and an operational misconduct directly linked to Birungi and his associates. Investigators claim that Birungi, alongside Colonel Peter Himbisiwe, former Director Counterterrorism, and Lieutenant Ephraim Byarhanga, Director of the operations, oversaw the operations where the intelligence manipulated and military resources misappropriated. Now, that's what they're saying. That's the narrative they're trying to sell out there. See, they're mismanaging resources and, they are corrupt and stuff like that. But we all know they do not care about corruption. They do not like corruption in Museveni's government or regime is a feature. It is not a BUG. It's not a bag. No, it is a feature. In order to sustain the Museveni criminal regime, you have to be corruption. Tell me one who is not corrupt. I mean, you have, despite of all this wealth they've accumulated, they are the folks who gave themselves stole poor people's iron sheets. You know about this. I think, let me refresh your mind, and I'm going to show you here. Read this front page headline. Minister uses Office of Prime Minister iron sheets for animal shed. That's how they don't care at all in that infamous Mabat scandal. And none of them has been held to account. Actually, many of them went on to deny. I just phoned them at my home. Was it Kasaija who said that? And many others. They don't care about corruption. Oh, corruption. And let me again now show you. At one time, the Inspector General of Government, who was then Betty Olive Namisango Kamya Tuliomwe, was starting to investigate and hold to account those folks in the military who are corrupt, who are stealing from the country. What did Museveni say? Museveni said, back off, soldiers. You cannot back off. Back off. Despite of the fact that, we give you resources to do your job. Back off. And you guys do remember, there was a time when Museveni said, hey, as long as these folks these corrupt folks invest in Uganda, there's no problem with corruption. I'll read you here what it says. The IGG, this is Museveni saying, quote, the IGG, why am I failing here? If it is his or her mandate to fight corruption in the defense forces as well, should work through CMI and non-directly. A similar arrangement should also be made for police and ESO, External Security Organization. And why is Museveni saying that? If you're going to fight corruption, you have to go through ABC. Do you know why? Because it is pretty much folks who are major corrupt folks in the military or in police or whatever are top-ranking officials. So it's like, you're going to expose my people. Back off. Back off. So, Museveni and Muhoozi are now having an epiphany and be like, oh my, I think we need to fight corruption. They don't care at all. They don't care. I'll show you something here. That was Bet Olive Namisango Kamya. Now let's go to a lady she replaced, and this was Irene Muriagonja. Remember this? Thieves hide behind Museveni's back. They are being protected by Museveni. Read here. The Inspector General of Government, Justice Irene Muriagonja, has said most corrupt government officials are hiding behind the back of Museveni and use their connection to the head of state to defeat or escape justice. This was 2021. Nobody was held to account. They didn't ask for a special committee to investigate this. No. It was a comment that was made by a government official. True, 100%. Nobody gave a damn, like zero. So, now we're going to fight corruption? Absolutely not. And I'll show you here what Museveni then said. This is what Museveni says. People like Speaker Anita Among, that's corrupt as they come. People like Anita Among are not the problem. What are you even saying? You want to fight corruption, but Anita Among, a chief corrupt officer in Uganda, is saying, you're saying she has no problem? Okay. I'm sorry for cutting myself short, actually. The real problem we have is the traitors working for foreigners. They are not mistake makers, but outright traitors working for wrong foreigners like homosexuals and imperialists. How can you talk so much on social media about Anita Among instead of those traitors? I'm getting intelligence and we're going to expose those traitors. Time check or date check. Up to now, we've not yet found out. He says he's got all this intelligence. I think Bobby Wine was right to point out that our intelligence, there's a case to be made that it is not as intelligent as they think. But think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Museveni saying, no. I know she's corrupt, but don't care about that person. Care about who my political opponent is talking to in America, in Europe, or anywhere. That's the mind of Museveni. And now they want to tell you, oh, we care about corruption. Look, thieves hide behind Museveni, says the Inspector General of Government, Irene Muliagonja. Read there. Miss Irene Muliagonja says the corrupt are powerful, and whenever she attempts to pursue them, they fight back and often win the fight. That's an officer of the government telling you, hey, there's no way you're going to do it. These folks are being protected by Yoweri Museveni. And then you had this article. Why Betty Kamya is protecting corrupt officials from exposure. Finally, after finding out that, hey, these are actually Museveni friends. These are not just mere obsequious soldiers or acolytes. No, these are not NRM or Museveni stooges. No, these are high-ranking officials, minister to that point. These are the ones that are stealing from national coffers. These are the corrupt in chief. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a situation where Museveni himself was named in a corruption case in the USA, where they sentenced Patrick Ho in prison. Museveni accepted a bribe. Him alongside Sam Kahamba Kutesa. I think there was even a video, I might look for it here, where they talked about Sam Kahamba's corruption. Unbelievable. So, I'm not going to listen to those people telling me about, oh, this is what's going on. But this is a by the way. Somebody pointed out this. Says, how did Semakula sneak onto this list? The entire group seems to be from the same village. You guys joke too much. Now, as you know, I'm a Munyankole, born in Bushenyi and bred in Kampala, Uganda. But absolutely, look, you have Don Nabaasa, John Nahamya, Cyrus Cyrus, Ephraim Byarhanga, James Birungi, Godfrey Tukamwachira, I'll jump that name, then Peter Ahimbisibwe, and then you have Patrick Semakula. How did he? And then it was actually Gabriel Bule who was so quick to respond. Says, this is what he said. He said, he thought he was part of them. Of course, we laugh at this, but there's a sad part in this, back and forth of these folks. It exposes the sectarianism of Museveni. Appointing or bringing folks, appointing them to these high-ranking positions in our military, yet they all belong in the same tribe. There's no problem with that, but I think that should be, if we're looking at who to promote, it shouldn't be based on my tribe or my religion. It should be based on meritocracy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what else did I wanted to show you about this story, which is a really, 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 really doozy. Okay, have I covered all? I think I did. I wanted to show you the story of Sam Kahamba Kutesa about corruption. All right, I got the video here, ladies and gentlemen. This shows the corruption history of Sam Kahamba Kutesa. What's that now?
Brief. In 1995, Sam Kutesa allegedly undervalued and has shares later sold to himself and the president's brother, Salim Salih. In that specific case, Parliament censured Kutesa, but no action was taken by the executive. In 1997, Sam Kutesa was named by a parliamentary committee for soliciting a bribe between $2 to $6 million. Now, with the bribe over the sale of Sheraton Hotel, the IGG and a committee of parliament investigated Sam Kutesa, and his co-accused were prosecuted but later acquitted by the anti-corruption court. Action taken, 0. In 1998, a parliamentary committee concluded it had been manipulated and taken advantage of by Sam Kutesa and a few politically powerful people. Action taken, zero. In 2000, Sam Kutesa was mentioned in a deal to procure technology intelligent network monitoring stroke verification system, INMS. Now, Kutesa was named in a deal where the Ugandan government lost about $1 million to supply ballots. Now, Lithotech company with links to Sam Kutesa gets another contract to supply ballots for the local government. Action taken, zero. In 2005, Sam Kutesa was named in the privatization of Uganda Dairy Corporation Limited, UDCL, a deal Rwamirama described as outright robbery. Now, in this specific deal, Smartmatic Inc. connected to Kutesa. However, the PPDA disqualified the company because it did not pass the commercial criteria. Sam Kutesa, however, bypassed the PPDA and got the deal. Action taken, zero. In 2009, Sam Kutesa was mentioned in an election deal worth $15 million to update the voters register. Now, Sam Kutesa, in this specific case, action taken to him, zero.
So you get it. There's no interest whatsoever. We want to fight corruption. They don't care. So beyond the narrative and the headlines that has been spread or given to the Museveni stooges to spread out there, you saw a storm of doubt that was brewing, and it's going to go beyond what you expect it to be. I believe there's power struggles at the top with many people looking at Museveni, almost saying goodbye to us. I mean, there's no question or debate about that. People are wondering who's going to be taking over. And of course, you know, their mind is illiberal. They are extremely against anything democratic, constitutional, rule of law. They don't. So it is going to be fighting amongst them, wondering who should be the next president. So my intuition here is telling me this has nothing to do with corruption. They don't care. If you dig deeper, there's something that's brewing, and we're going to find out. Everything they do in the dark is going to be brought to light. For that, I know for sure. So they can go on and lie to the country. Soon, we're going to find out. And if I find out, I'll be here to update you. So please go on and hit that subscription button. And there's a join button as well. If you want to become a member of this channel, you can do that as well. My name is Mordecai Murisa, and I wish you a wonderful time. Let me know what you think. Do you believe this is corruption? Muhoozi cares about corruption. I mean, a man who gloats in abducting, torturing, and killing people. Oh, corruption is so bad, but killing people is okay. Does it make any sense to you? Come on, cut that crap.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.